And we rocking Facebook this morning, right? That's
Yes,
what's up.
sir. Yes, sir. Looks like we're gonna be on some. It's under my other profile, but it's all good, man. And we are live, folks. Once again, welcome to another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show. Let's go ahead and get this in real quick.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Young. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.
Changing some of that up as well. But man, welcome everyone to another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show. It is your boy, Mr. Just Ask Joe, and my other host with the most, brother from another mother, my brethren, family, brother John Yah, Esoteric Concepts. How you doing there, bro?
Peace, King. I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. I'm on fumes this morning, but it's all good, man. It's all for a good cause. Y'all can see the shirt here. This is a film production. Got a little good message in it as well. It's the movie Savage that is going to be coming out here this year under the Hype Vision production or Hype Vision Studios lineup. So I'm out here actually in Atlanta, and I'm working on this film. Took care of some of the craft or foods for the production crew and everything. So, you know, lots of fun. Also get it in on a lot of behind the scenes pictures and video footage and all that good stuff. So I tend to have a little bit of a eye for photography, just a small eye.
That's dope. So actually you there putting together a film that's coming out.
Absolutely. This and what's dope about it is this is a short film.
Okay.
But what we're doing with it is it's kind of a trailer or a prelude in a sense to another full-length feature film called Trill Summer.
Okay.
And we have a particular production company that we're trying to lure in, and the owner of said production company, or the head of said production company that I will not mention, his son is actually going to be in the film that we're shooting now. So that's pretty dope. Shout out to Dr. No Job. Hey, I was checking out some of his videos that you shared the other day. And yeah, that brother, yeah, we got to have him on the show just to converse anyway, just to have a conversation and just, you know, talk. You know, we always talk about mindset, and you know, that brother, he's doing it. So that's what's up.
That's what's up. Yeah, he's got great energy. Would love to have him on the talk because you know, he's on this vibe, man, about you know, out here trying to get it and make it happen. And also he's willing to show others how to do it. And that's the thing, man, is willing to share your information opposed to keeping it to yourself. That's how you know somebody loves what they're doing, when they're willing to share it.
Yeah, man. And to be honest with you, that's where your blessings come more than anything else, is when you're willing to share, when you're willing to share your business, your thoughts, all of that good stuff. Grand Rising, Keisha Williams, always nice to see her online with us. Everybody's checking in from YouTube. That's what's up. That's what's up. You guys, if you want as well, remember you can check out online Nathaniel Tapper, and I did share it on my page and on the Tipping Point Show page on Facebook. But we are going live from that page as well, Nathaniel Tapper, if it's easier for you to comment or what have you. But we love the love out here. Hey, make sure y'all, you know what, do us a favor. Go down there, click like, because on a lot of the videos y'all see on YouTube, you know, go ahead and click the like button and share any of that. You know, we just now kind of started beefing up our YouTube page. So definitely working on that, and we want to make sure that there's more people out there that get a chance to see and know what's going on and what we're talking about here on the Tipping Point Show. So do us a favor, just help out with that, like, share, and all that good stuff. And that's the new world today, right, John? Like and share. That's it. That's the new world. The new digital world that we're in is all about likes and shares. You know, that equates to dollars in the big corporate world. So you know, either we get in or fit in, and or don't lay that, or don't fit in at all, right? Don't get in at all.
Right, and let everybody know we also back on Facebook, even though we had our little problems with you know, Facebook rules, whether it was Facebook found out about certain things we talked about. There's certain keywords that you cannot say, and understand that those words are important to understand. Just because Facebook don't allow you, Facebook ain't the fucking world. It's just some shit that we use their platform to get the message out. Remember, it's not our platform, it's they shit, right? Yep. And so it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be on. It's not a fucking right. So they can kick us off, and a damn thing we can do about it. So that's why we're moving to other platforms, so that you can continue to see our content and what we're putting out.
And have our ears open to other platforms that are being created. You know, there's other platforms out there, other people working on freedom of speech platforms and stuff like that. And we got our ears open. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you know, looking to invest, you know, I got a couple presentations from some people that are in the circle that you can listen to and see what you think. But you know, there's other platforms out there being created, and there's plenty of other platforms. You know, there's one out there called Black Page. It's like black_page.com. And it's I thought initially that it was a social media. It's similar to Facebook, but it has a bit of a dating air about itself, more so, and so it's just kind of interesting the way they have it set up. But it definitely has this air of dating there. Hey, Health Daddy Wow, Grand Rising family. You know, that is Brother Frank Stoner. We appreciate you, brother. So good stuff there. And, you know, while we're talking about that, let's go ahead and let's play a quick little commercial.
Hey folks, check out healthdaddywow.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, healthdaddywow.net. Remember, healthdaddywow.net.
Right, while we're at it. That's what's up. So this week, our show, we have 5 things you must know. Is it before becoming an entrepreneur?
Before understanding, yes, you have to understand what an entrepreneur is if you're trying to reach that point, and what does that mean. Everybody, you'll find that there's different definitions for what we call entrepreneur, and so we want to talk about those things, because here's the thing: it's not really complex as people think it is. It's a big ass word though, but it's not nothing to be scared of. And so people want to make it like it's a special club. It's not. So I'm just going to break down some simple points that will help you understand being an entrepreneur is really simple. It's easy. And it's just learning to incorporate it into your natural life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out Queen Satya Churchill Myers. Shout out to you, sis. You know, it's interesting when you talk about that word entrepreneur. One of the things in a lot of motivational videos and things of that nature that I might watch, they always talk about how different words bring on different emotions.
Yes.
You know, and I would almost say that entrepreneur is a word that brings on the same emotion to an impoverished mindset as the word wealth. You know, it's in a sense maybe along that same line, because people have a program, as you've talked about before, that kind of works in opposition of wealth. If you have an impoverished mindset, then you have a program that works in opposition of wealth. So anything along those lines, wealth, money, entrepreneur, abundance. You know, these are things that people can't see themselves as. They can't envision themselves as that. Therefore, when they hear those words, it's almost a stress factor more than anything else, right?
Great point.
So, yeah, so it's interesting when you really think about that. But you know, as we talk about this, you know, you yourself have been in business for, from my understanding, over 20 years with what you do now, or with your business, Saya Baba. And interestingly enough, one of the things I admire about you when you speak about your business is your relationship to the people that you work with.
Yeah.
You don't call anyone an employee at all.
No.
You know, you don't even slip up to say that word.
Right.
You always say that they work with you, or they're working with you.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it's more of a partnership. What is that all about?
Well, it's the mindset. Like you said, what we teach here is entrepreneurship, being able to be dependable, and to loan your time for an exchange. Okay.
Mm.
And so basically what I have basically is people on my team. And so you got people on my team at my warehouse. I got people on my team in China. I got people on my team in Taiwan. What do I mean when I say people on my team? I got people to contact that work in my favor in getting my products to me, getting my designs to me. I got companies here, from labeling company to display company to also to marketing companies. And I got the exact person I want to call. When you do that, that's on your team. So I can just make a call and say, hey, I need this product, or I need this many displays, or whatever the case may be. So when I look at everything, when I look at these components that I put together, what I'm putting together, my sticks, my fragrances, my bags, my bottles, all of these come from different companies, and I have to work a relationship with them in order to get the price that I want, in order to put these components together and put them out in the stores. Not only that, I have relationships with the store owners, right? We have a direct relationship, personal phone numbers type of thing. So they on my team, right? If their products are low, they'll call me. So, you know, that's what I call on my team. I don't look at it as employee and employer situation, nor do I do the tax thing, meaning a lot of companies, you know, when they have somebody working for them, they take taxes out on them, then they pay them what little they and hold on to the taxes. I don't do that here. Everyone with me is like contract. Okay. So they're just on my team. They come in when they get ready to come in. They put in the work they want to put in, whether they want to put in 3 to 4 hours or put in 8 hours, it will be up to them. As long as we get the products finished in time, and so that I can get it out to the stores and meet the other stores. So when I look at it from that concept, everybody in my space has the same energy. You feel me? And so we're sharing the same energy, because if specifically if you are working the products and putting them together, I expect that you to see those products like they're yours, in order to have the proper energy in the product itself. My labels have to be straight. I don't like my labels crooked, and I don't like my bottles not all the way filled. I don't like my sticks to be raggedy looking. So I have a quality that I want to put out there, and you have to get the kind of quality people. But what you do basically is get them to engage into their concern about your product. Once you get them engaged, boom, you know you got the right people on your team.
So, you know, when you think about that, then we talk a lot about not being stuck in the color construct. So when you look at your products, are your products products for Black people?
Absolutely not.
What do you think about when you put together a product? Because there's a lot of movement where people are, you know, Black gyms and, you know, Black workouts and, you know, blackety black. Well, you know, does color or the color construct get incorporated into what you do in any way?
Absolutely not. I don't allow the influence of others or other people ideals inside the culture to creep into my business, which how I feed my family. So there are three basic needs you have. There are three basic needs: food, shelter, and water. I mean, food, shelter, and clothing. That's the three basic needs. Your three basic needs in life is those three, and everything else is extra. So in other words, food, shelter, and clothing. You need food first in order to find shelter. You ain't got no food, you weak, you too weak to find shelter. Once you found shelter, then you can find clothes to clothe yourself, right? It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has nothing to do with the color of other people's skin. You mean to tell me that if you're seeking food, you're only going to seek food from people that look like you? It doesn't make sense. You're seeking food. And so it doesn't matter where it's coming from, as long as you get the quality food. You're seeking shelter. You just want the best shelter you can find. You don't want a shelter that deals with a lot of drama around your shelter. You want a peaceful shelter. Doesn't matter what color you are or who you hooked up with. You want shelter and clothing the same way. Now, when I talk about business, I don't have a black business. I have a business that transcend all races. So in other words, when I put a product out there, I want anybody to buy my product. I don't care who it is. I want you to love my product. I want you to take it home and enjoy it. Doesn't matter what color skin. If you start thinking color, then you start limiting. If I was to put on my product 100% black on, what does that mean? Don't mean shit to black people. Black people ain't running around looking at the labels and wondering if it's 100% black. You don't do that when you go to Kroger's or Walmart, right? And so what does that do? What does that do to someone who's white or non-black? See that? What would you think of a product that says all white product? Would you not stand back and be like, I don't want that? So that person is limiting their sales. They're limiting their potential, because true potential deals with the universe. Universe don't see things in color, right? Universe don't give a fuck what color you are. So the universe gives whoever it is sending the vibration of good back to the universe or bad. Universe is not concerned with color. So when you start moving past the color construct, you open the door for more blessings. And that's just it. I don't allow no one's thinking or thoughts or whatever it is they are attached to creep into what I need to do to have a successful business. And I've been there with a product before that had a black logo to it, and people with certain understandings shined away from my product. Like I had a product that was called Sons of Cairo that was using the colors red, black, and green, which is the Pan-African colors. Well, guess what? If you are Moor, you don't like Pan-African colors. If you are Muslim, you don't like Pan-African colors. If you're a Christian, you don't like Pan-African colors. So who am I advertising to? Only a small niche of people who accept that. That's not why I'm in business. I'm not in business for social reasons. I'm in business to make money so that I can create generational wealth for my family.
Absolutely. Shout out Shanrika Crawford Benjamin. Peace, love, and prosperity to all. We throw it right back at you, sis. Absolutely. You know, it was interesting when you I kind of chuckled when you made the comment earlier. You said, you know, if you're seeking food, you're not seeking it just from black people. And the thought of a homeless person or something someone standing on the side of the road and you know, white people come along versus black people come along, and you know, them turning down the food, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen.
That makes sense.
It's not gonna happen.
No, this concept can limit us. We really got to think beyond that. When you start claiming who you are with limitations to it, then that limitations attracts you to the universe. So then the universe gives you just that little, right? And that ain't what you're here for. You're here to enjoy life to the fullest. You're here to maintain those three elements that you need: food, shelter, and water. And then beyond that, what you can bring in to do traveling. See, those things are extra. You're not here for those things. You are only here for those three components. Everything else is extra. Okay, understand that. So the more revenue or resources you can bring in, because we're living in this stigma of society that deals with the dollar bill, you have to bring in more in order to do those extra things that you want to do. Okay, so it's just the basics. And once you get the basics, boom, it's easy to understand.
You said claim who you are with limitations. Wow. Yeah. Now that's a deep thought right there, because some would say that walking in and yelling out, "I'm black, I'm proud," would be claiming who you are with limitation, right? Because again, the word black, created by massa, right? And to this day, we still hold ourselves to that understanding. And with that in mind, that comes with a particular connotation, which is, I mean, let's just look at it. In the beginning, the word black in this country created for the definition of the slave class or the working class, right? So ultimately, every time you walk around outside, and if you're claiming who you are with limitation, then ultimately you're basically denoting to that particular original definition when you're talking this country on this monopoly board. So to transcend that,
This monopoly board, I like that. This monopoly board.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's many monopoly boards out there.
Yeah.
But you know, we have this one to play with here in America. But you know, hey, look, Gaddafi was trying to introduce some other monopoly boards, which I liked his.
Yes.
And they got rid of them for it. Absolutely, they got rid of them for it. But with that in mind, man, you know, 5 things to know.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and hit it. And we're going to bring on our guest here soon, but 5 things to know.
Okay, so when we talk about entrepreneurship, when we talk about being an entrepreneur, we're talking about someone that's engaged in business or engaged in trade and willing to take on all the components that deals with that. So you hear some people may claim that entrepreneurship means one who's not working in the business, but is working on the business. In other words, if you're working in the business, they will say you got a job, right? So as I begin to take this journey of being self-employed, it's very interesting of that, which I've learned and I found this, what would we call this exclusive club of people who will call themselves entrepreneurs, right? And they will give these definitions of what entrepreneurs are. And the act as though is, well, if you're not an entrepreneur, you don't own no business, then you don't belong in this exclusive club, right? So really the word entrepreneurship really only means visionary. Let's just stop right there. It just really means one with a vision. Okay. So now the incorporations of everything one must know to operate successfully as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is these points. One is sales. You have to really understand sales and master sales in order to be able to begin to be an entrepreneur, meaning that you have to sell something. If you ain't selling nothing, then you ain't making any money. That's number one. Number two, I'm gonna try to put these in order so that you can.
And when you say sell something, then that includes even selling yourself.
Boom.
Right.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So you're dealing with sales. Next, you're dealing with marketing. All right. So whatever it is you're selling, you actually want to market it. You want to put it out there. You want to put it into a display. You want to be able to talk about it. You want to put it on Facebook, whatever the case may be. Right. And so you have to deal with marketing. You have to be able to master marketing. Marketing is when you can talk about your product. I know a lot of people got good products or got good idea, but they can't talk about it. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to express it. Well, guess what? If you don't express your product, nobody's going to know what kind of product you got or how passionate you are about your product. You have to be willing to go get out there and meet people and talk about your product, letting people know what your product that you exist. Right. And so that's one. Marketing is number 2. And the next one is also important, and I want to make this one second. This one's called technician. The technician is the third part of entrepreneurship you need to know. The technician is the product itself, or how the product is put together, or your skill level into the product. That's the technician, right? So if I sell a product, that is the piece that I'm selling, how I want that product to look, whether I want it to look good or I want it to look better. That's the technical part of the entrepreneurship. It's called the technician. In other words, if I'm putting together a product, as we do at my place, we put together a product. If I don't master it myself, how can I teach it? So I have to master that too. So I have to master sales, I have to master marketing, and I have to master the technical part. Next is accounting.
You know, and before you jump to the next one, that's one of the things I love about you is because even when we have particular subjects matters, when you start talking about mastering, I've seen you order books and things just to brush up and have the ability to converse with the right vocabulary and know exactly what it is you're talking about. I've seen you order books and jump in on seminars and things of that nature. Just do it. So mastery is absolutely important.
Yes.
On any level of your life. You know, you want to be the best husband you can be. Hey, you got to study up and master that thing.
That's right.
You know, because you know, us guys, we do not read minds, and you know, so if you can read minds, you will be the greatest husband ever. Okay?
You got that right.
But go ahead, man.
Okay, so the number four is accounting. Accounting is very important, meaning that knowing how to count your money, knowing how to take a product that you're selling and mark it up, and how you mark it up based on the value of what is out there is very important. Looking at your competition and how you judge your product and how you want to charge for that product that you have to put out there. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is management. You have to be able to manage all of the other four. So you have to have 5 points to understand this. And here's how it works. It's very interesting. It's like a web. So let's say, for instance, the entrepreneur, the owner, the visionary, maybe he hired all 5 people. He hired a manager, he hired an accountant, he hired a technician, he hired a salesperson, he hired a marketing person. Let's say he hired every one of them because he has to know what he hired anyway, because he has to understand his numbers. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, he says, hey, I ain't making enough money. So guess who he's going to call first? He's basically going to call sales. Hey, sales, man, you know what you need to do? You need to pick up my sales, man. I need some more money in, because his job is sales, right? He's the one that's going to bring in the money. And the salesman says, well, I can do more if we put a new billboard out, if we take and put a new website up. And so that's the marketing. Then he calls marketing and say, hey, marketing, can you improve my look? Can you improve the website? That's marketing. Marketing goes, well, you know, I ain't got enough money. So marketing calls who? Accounting. Hey, accounting, do we have enough money to feed marketing so that marketing can put these new billboards up? And marketing says, well, I mean, accounting says, yeah, but we do need more sales. And the salesman comes back and says, well, we don't have enough product. So marketing now put more products, more marketing out there. We're lacking the products for sales to make happen. So guess who they call? They call the technician. Technician, you need to produce more products. Right? So that the salesman can sell and the marketing can put more out there and the accountant can balance the budget. Right? And that's the manager's job. The manager's job is make sure everything is balanced. You can't overspend in nothing. You can't take all your money and spend it in marketing and then don't have nothing for other areas, specifically back in the technician part, and be able to pay your workers and or create new products that you want to come in. So manager is the key that keeps all that intact. Manager reports to the entrepreneur, which is the owner, and says, this is how much I brought you this month. This is how much I brought you, right? With all the components put together. So those are the major 5 points. But here's what's very interesting. In this exclusive club that we claim to have as entrepreneurs, actually, you should see your regular life as a working person, working for someone, as an entrepreneur. And you may ask, well, how is that? I don't have no business. Well, look at this. Remove yourself from the employee mindset. First of all, remove yourself from the employee mindset. And let's look at it this way. Let's say sales, like you mentioned, sales is selling yourself. You're selling yourself for a service that you're going to go work for somebody for 8 hours. You're selling yourself, right? Let's look at marketing. How do you market that when you went on the interview? Did you not look good? Did you not give him a resume? Did you not fill out the application? That's marketing, right? So now let's look at the technical part. The technical part is your skills. The technician is the skill part of you. What do you bring to the table? What can you do? How fast can you type? Or you know, do you have an engineer degree? That's the technical part. And then you have the management, how to manage it all together. Manage your time management. It's time for me to get up, time for me to go to work, time for me to get off, time for me to get dinner done. right? Time me to get the clothes washed, time me to get back up and go. And then what is accounting? Accounting is the one where you budget in your money. And how do you know you're winning? You're winning when you live beneath your means and you have a surplus at the end. That's all entrepreneurs want at the end, is a fucking surplus. All at the end, all of that shit, at the end of the day, he wants some money at the end that he done reaped it from, right? And that's all you want at the end. You want more money. You want more money at the end of the month, that after you done spend all your bills, you got something left over. That is a visionary. In order to work on those areas of have a surplus, that means you have a plan. That means you have a vision. Actually, you're an entrepreneur mindset. So you just got to look at yourself that way. When you're offering your service to someone and you're clocking in, you're offering time for an exchange for some
Absolutely.
money. You're going to take that money and you're going to split it up, buy food, put a little for rent, make a phone bill, gas money, look, car note.
And the only time that exchange don't feel right is as you list all those things right there that money's got to go out to, and you ain't got no surplus after that. That's when it don't feel right. And that's when you start thinking, I might need to make a change.
Right.
So that's dope. And I love it. Shanrika sat there and she said she went ahead and listed for us sales, marketing, technician, accounting, and management. Dope. Love the interaction. Folks, we have our guest coming up here. I'm going to bring him on in just 1 second. I do want to go ahead and play a couple commercials, and then we're going to bring our guest on. So give us 1 second here.
Habibi Trading Company, home of soap sticks and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky. Or get yours online at sayababa.com. Again, that's sayababa.com. Habibi Tumi Trading Company, owned by yours truly, John Ya Esoteric Concept.
All right. So without further ado, folks, I want to bring to you this brother. We continue the conversation about this digital currency because we're moving into a new world. And I don't know how many of you are still out there that may have your head under a rock, but the world has changed. It's not that it is changing. The world has changed. As a matter of fact, I was sitting there listening to other conversation. This is how you really know it's changed. Listen to some recent conversation on NPR about the talk of how to control digital currency, because they're worried about people like Putin, who may still be able to operate and make moves because he can move money via digital currency. So, of course, the powers that be want to have control over that. And most of us do not like that idea. So with that in mind, without further ado, let me bring on brother Ken Lockhart of BitcoinCampus.org. Brother, how you doing there? Welcome to the Tipping Point Morning Show.
Yes. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. Truly excited about what you guys are doing and what you're bringing to the community with this platform. And it's just a blessing. It's a blessing that I made it here, on time, as well as just waking up this morning. Each day is a blessing.
Absolutely. So Crypto Kenny, I see the name there. I like that. That's what's up, Crypto Kenny. So you know what? Let's jump right in. I got my brother there, brother John Ya. Let's jump right in. I know he's gonna have some questions. Go ahead and tell us about BitcoinCampus.org, what it's about, how you got started. You can jump in on any of that and just take it away.
Yeah, well, wow. Thank you for making me feel special with that introduction. I truly appreciate that. Bitcoin Campus is just a resource center for people that are trying to take advantage of the cryptocurrency boom. So what we do is we provide access to the different aspects of cryptocurrency that will allow individuals to develop wealth. So if you think about how someone can become wealthy in crypto, right? If you just think, that you see it on the news, you see it on social media, you hear about it. People are becoming wealthy in cryptocurrency all the time, through NFTs, through coins, through platforms, through whatever the case may be, right? Already having money and, moving it around. But in terms of what BitcoinCampus.org provides, it just allows you to take advantage of the necessities of what would be an avenue of wealth. Here's what I mean by that. If you think about the people that became wealthy in crypto, they had probably one of maybe 6 things, right? So if we think about those 6 things, what would those 6 things be, right? It would be they probably had money, or they had a big following. They were like a big influencer, right? Or they got in at the right time. Somebody told them something about, a coin, they got in at the right time. So timing. Association is key. You got to be around the right people, so you even know about these things and what's happening in the market. You got to have determination, persistency. You got to be well educated, right? So all of those things, when you look at what's necessary to be successful in crypto, what we do in Bitcoin Campus is we provide that to the marketplace. So outside of cryptocurrency, I run a web development company that builds apps, websites, comic books, video games. And I had people around me that were doing really well in crypto in different ways. One was a really good investor. The other one was like a YouTube type of personality that had a following. And the other gentleman had a very large audience and was like an influencer just in the space as a networker, right? So these individuals, I'm watching them become millionaires right in front of my face. And most people, when it comes to cryptocurrency, they only think of like Bitcoin or Ethereum. They don't even believe it's real. So they're just like, fake money that's out there. And here I'm seeing individuals become wealthy by investing in like cryptocurrency tokens and coins that nobody even speaks about.
Man, I still think about the idea of being one of the owners of Bitcoin when it was like $200 a share even. I mean, could you imagine that right there? That's just crazy. And Ethereum is running what, like 3,000 a share right about now?
Right now. A little under 3,000 right now. And the market hasn't been doing as well as the past. Last year it went all the way up to about a little under 68,000 per Bitcoin.
Correct.
So, so if you think about cryptocurrency in its entirety, 70% of everybody that is involved in crypto got in last year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about that, there's plenty of room for people to educate themselves and make a ton of money. There's a movement in the industry right now that just deals with platforms. So there's investment platforms outside the United States that some of them are decentralized, meaning that you don't have to provide specific identification to participate in the money-making activity within it.
Mm-hmm.
They won't ask you for like your ID or location or anything like that. You just wallet addresses and go ahead and make money, make interest, make whatever the case may be. So
I didn't know it got that deep though. I mean, I have one now, or a broker account where I believe I had to do my social.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sitting here thinking maybe I didn't have to do my ID, but no, I had to do my social.
what you're speaking about is just trading. When you're getting involved in the trading aspect and you're going through a broker, you're going to have to provide, your regular credentials. You can't go around that. You can't go around that aspect as far as trading cryptocurrency. What I'm speaking about, they're actually companies, or quote unquote companies. They pretend to be companies. Some of them are real, some of them are not real. But there are a lot of these things popping up all across the world that will say, John or Joe, give me $100 and I'll give you 1% on that $100 a day.
Yep.
And let me hold on to that, and then you're not going to get the 100 back, but we'll keep paying you a percentage, this 1%, all the way up until you make like $300 or $400.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Some of them are real, some of them are not. It's all over the market right now. So what Bitcoin Campus kind of does is vets those types of opportunities, just because of the experience, because of the network association. Again, we can't predict, everything, but at the same time, we do a better job mitigating those opportunities than the average person that just gets excited, and the next thing you know, they throw their money into something that disappears.
Let me ask you a question. When it comes to Bitcoin, for those of us who are on layman terms of understanding the cryptocurrency part, where is crypto? Other than like, for instance, I've learned maybe this year, or a little bit of last year, that people can trade cryptocurrency on Forex. And what you're doing is basically taking one currency and using it to buy another currency at a low price, hoping that currency rises up so that you can sell it back to the other currency. When it comes to paper money, for instance, what we use today, our credit cards or paper money. Now, when we're talking about crypto, isn't it just another currency that we can invest in? Is it not good to hold? Or is it good to trade? I find people in Forex traded in and out daily. Is that fair to say with crypto? That you can do with crypto? Or put it in and just let it sit in like you do long-term stocks?
Great. It's a very detailed question, because cryptocurrency is another currency, but it's actually the future of money.
Okay.
We don't necessarily fully see it right now, but we're living in a world that doesn't want to touch each other, wants to be isolated, wants to be lazy, wants to be either rich or poor, no middle class. So if that's the case, the value of $1 is becoming lower. Like, think about it. We just had a virus, and all of a sudden nobody's working. And what does the government do? They just start printing money. Here. They start giving businesses money. Here's $1 million. Here's this and this and that. When they're not even working, where's this money coming from? Right? So they're just trying to pump the money back into the economy without nothing really backing it. Right? I mean, here's the transition of money has already occurred in the past. Like, we went from, just people with IOUs, or just with, bartering, I have sheep, you have, corn, and then it turned into, gold. Then people are like, yo, why would I hold on to this big thing? This big gold piece, like it's worth something, but I can't really maneuver with it. Then it came to money. Then you have your credit system of borrowing money. So if you look at all of the aspects of how money is transitioning throughout history, and now we're going to things called the metaverse. What's the metaverse, right? The metaverse is just like, the Matrix digital version society. You create your own avatar in a society. People nowadays are, if you guys really think about this, really dive into social media, the majority of people on social media are more focused on looking good as opposed to actually being good. They're just showing you what they want to show you, and they actually think that's real life.
Hashtag no filters. Right.
Hashtag no filters. Exactly. That's real. But most people, men and women on social media are pretty much disguising who they really are. So much so that it makes sense that we're going to go to a digital reality where you could just make whoever you want to be in this video game and then go live a life. So in your brain is shifting to staying home, isolated, but living a more better life in a video game online.
Right. So when we talk about currency, usually paper currency is backed by something. This currency in the US and the euro is backed by oil. And I remember when Gaddafi was killed over the fact that he was talking about only trading oil for gold. So the currency is backed by oil, and the way they treat it is acted so that the oil is limited so that it can cause the prices to go up. What is crypto backing? What's backing crypto? Is it a gold?
It's backed by the public. It's backed by the notion that money cannot be manipulated. That alone,
while you're answering that question, let me just say this: isn't when we start talking about the U.S. dollar being backed by gold or the U.S. dollar being backed by oil, aren't we still yet again talking about a propagated thoughts? I mean, because the reality is that there hasn't been an assessment of Fort Knox since, like, I don't know, the 50s or 60s, right? So it is said that ain't no money in there. And I mean, there's no gold in there, right? But it's what they put out. It's the thought that is propagated to the public, you know, that and so then when you start talking about the dollar, it is only as good as what they make people believe it is good. So America is like the #1 marketing company in the world in general. They make people believe to come here for a reason, and yet again with dollar and everything, we're just propagating it all up. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry I jumped in there, but man, I love this conversation.
Yeah, this conversation is really dope. And if you think about the stuff that we're speaking about, like, I have a very open mind and mindset. I don't believe in anything until I believe in it. And I have to believe in it. Like, my brain has to interpret it. You're not just going to tell me something and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, sure. Like, you know, we're talking about a currency being backed by something. And the only reason we're doing that is to prevent fraud. So you don't believe fraud is occurring. That's the only reason it is necessary to even talk about the dollar being backed by something, because the government is controlling something and you want to make sure, hey, there's no fraud going on behind this. You're not just making this up and not having it, accounted for in some kind of way. Because if that's the case, you guys are going to just live like Monopoly men, right? So they make up this aspect that is backed by something. It's not backed by anything. They're just telling you that. They got a money making machine. They make the money. It's backed by electricity.
No, that's incorrect.
It's backed by paper.
Wait a minute. Well, no, that's incorrect. Money does have a backing. When I spend my money and I spend it overseas in Taiwan, it has a meaning behind it, and it's traded from oil or what they call revenue in oil. Just like there are countries that have stacks of $100 bills, right? But they trade it by oil. But let me ask you this question. It's very interesting. When we talk about something back, I remember day trading. Day trading, when people talk about day trading ain't investing in stocks. It's not trading stocks. You are actually investing in the equity of the stock. And that is the word of mouth. So when gas prices go up and down, it has nothing to do with the price of oil. Then it has more to do with the speculators, people who are talking about it. Talking about it makes it go up. Not talking about it makes it go down, right?
So what you're saying is kind of like to our point in a way.
Exactly.
Backing something only means value. What is value? Value is whatever you put a price tag on it. I can give you this cup and tell you, yo, Madonna gave me this cup right before she got signed. Her lipstick is still on it.
Yeah.
You could be a Madonna fan and be like, yo, let me get that for $1,000. I may talk to Shanrika and say, Shanrika, yo, I got this Madonna cup. and she won't even give me $1 for it. She'd be like, I don't listen to Madonna. Why would you give me ill? There's lipstick on it. She may throw it away. So value and perceived value is the only thing that matters to anybody.
So in this world of trade, this world of trade of what we're looking at in the future, I see two issues here. One issue no one can explain. What if crypto collapse altogether?
It can't. It won't.
Wait a minute. No, that's not true. Everything has an end and a possibility to end. Everything does. So imagine now, paper currency is off the map, which is where we're moving towards. There is no such thing as paper currency anymore. So therefore, nobody can take $100 bill and trade it for something specific anymore. Now, either you're gonna have to have some type of chip or something to technology to transfer your trade. What does that say about people who are stuck out into the world like homeless people? How does this trade work? If I make a product, I have to trade it through crypto, meaning that you have to give it back to me in digital currency. If I have a farm and I want to sell my products and I want to sell it to another farm or another store, I have to be able to trade it in crypto. Is this
you're already using digital money? You just don't realize it.
And this is what I'm getting to. This becomes the new world order of how those be able to control the wealthy and lock out the poor. How is it that a person from ground level be able to get in if they don't have the first currency? How does that look without paper currency in the world and it's all paper? How does that look?
It's the same way you could get into anything without money. You just have value. If I come over to you and I say, yo, let me get, $50 of Bitcoin, I'll sing to you.
No. Here's my point.
All I need is a wallet.
Right. I'm a homeless person. When I came out of prison, I'm a homeless person. I'm on the corner selling incense. Before I had my company, I'm on the corner hitting car to car with incense. How do I get paid if there is no currency?
Well, I think what you're necessarily talking about is not the crash of crypto, but the crash of the dollar.
Right.
We're having two different conversations.
Right. That's what
I'm saying. The crash of the dollar.
Crypto is here to take the place of the dollar. Eventually, we're moving towards moving the dollar off the street. If that is the case, how does it look in the world where everything's in currency, which means in digital and no longer in paper? So I have to have something on me, a card or something to trade with in order to eat.
And here's something, Dustin J says, shout out to you, Dustin J. He says way more people have cell phones than bank accounts. So that right there kind of plays right into that conversation because I mean, that's true. You have homeless people out there with cell phones and all it takes is somebody to tell them, here, come here, let me show you something. I'm going to show you how to go. I'm going to show you. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to show you how to go download a couple of these apps. I'm gonna show you how to get a couple free coins.
You still have to have a bank account in order to transfer the currency, regardless of whether Obama phones are free or not. You still have to have I can have my cell phone, but it's got to be connected to a bank account in order for me to transfer a fund.
If you got Cash App, which is digital currency, it doesn't even need to be. You could connect it to a bank account. Maybe if you want to put money in or withdraw it, but that doesn't mean that I can't send you $100 Cash App, and that doesn't mean that you can't use a Cash App card in a store.
Correct. Yeah. So again, what about the person in the street? That's when I point who are dependent on paper currency. How does the world?
I think the person on the street, person on the street. To get themselves from point A to point B has to develop a level of currency to get to the next level anyway. So if their steps have to be get a phone, get a wallet, and I don't necessarily think paper money would be gone altogether. I just think the value of it in the future is going to be almost like how we look at pennies. We always get pennies in stores and change. But, what do I only really look at I take pennies and just throw them, even though You know, why do we have pennies? Like, they add up, right?
It actually costs a penny and a half to actually make a penny, which is interesting. So you're right. I don't see why we have it. But Dustin J says you can just barter that and have someone purchase something in fiat for you. So now we starting to jump in. You know, you bring up fiat. So here, why don't we do this real quick? Ken, can you go ahead and tell us what, you know, and this will get into the conversation of mining for crypto, but how I understand, and I'll give you my understanding, and then you kind of decipher and explain. But my understanding is that there are, when it comes to the blockchain, for instance, there are several mega giant computers. You know, and this was the conversation that what's your boy Tesla slipped my mind.
Elon Musk.
The conversation that Elon Musk brought to the table when he was talking about Dogecoin, and he had a issue with the amount of, I guess, electricity or resources being used when it comes to mining crypto, right? So with that in mind, there's these mega computers when it comes to the blockchain that are all over the world. No one person supposedly knows the actual location of these giant computers that all connect together to help keep the blockchain going, right? So as far as being able to purchase crypto and things of that nature, I know with Bitcoin, when I go to my Cash App and I go to make a purchase, I get a text message saying your you know, money is now available on the blockchain, right? So with that in mind, let's go back to what is crypto, because that's the thing that a lot of times, you know, people have a problem with, is the fact that I can't hold it in my hand. You know, when it comes to paper money, you can hold it. So there's even more of a belief.
Can you hold your money? Can you hold your money in Cash App?
You're right. Physically, I cannot.
Can you hold your money in Apple Pay?
Absolutely not. Physically, no.
If you go to 7-Eleven, Dwayne Reed, Rite Aid, Walgreens, and they give you reward points that you could use to buy other food, are you able to hold that and give that to somebody?
Not at all.
Google Wallet, you know, Venmo, PayPal. Are you guys able to hold that?
Absolutely not. Here's the thing about the crypto and all the currency, whether we're talking about credit cards, whether we're talking about Apple Pay, or whether we're talking about Cash App. You mentioned something about the big computer that holds all the information.
Multiple ones, yes.
Multiple information. Just the same as if my bank account shuts down for whatever reason. Let's say technology or a power outage. Do you know I can't spend no money with that card, right? I'm busted. Ain't nothing I can do. I can't make no more trades until the lights come back on. So imagine a world where those who are in control of the energy is now in control of those who are transferring money through crypto or through.
I mean, you can't control energy. Energy is a universal thing. It comes from the air.
Yeah,
electricity.
We're not talking earth talk. We're talking the energy in the system of these lights that we did, bank accounts. If my bank account
if the lights go out across society, then there would be, you know, paper money would kind of go null and void too.
Even with that, when we mention those big computers, you would have to, because those computers are all over the world. If one goes down, the other ones pick up the slack, right? So you would have to, number one, you'd have to know the location of all the computers. And then there would have to be a strategic worldwide attack.
It's impossible to break Bitcoin system. It's just networks. So it's networks that communicate with one another to develop this system that people utilize for the currency trading. So look, even with Dustin, I know Dustin was probably going to say that 90% of money isn't physical. That's the problem with central banking. There's no immutable blockchain ledger to verify transactions. Fractional reserve is the death of the US dollar. Basically, well, that's a good point, Dustin. But what we're saying right now with crypto, it's a verification system. When you're thinking about these computers, don't think about some sort of computer in some location that's hidden by the CIA. What it is designed and it's coded in a way that when something is done on the blockchain, it's almost like if you get a receipt at a store. First and foremost, it can't be manipulated. Everybody can see that receipt online. You can't mess up a blockchain. You can't mess up the blockchain. You can't, like in real life, an accountant can fraud a system. They can say, I owe you $100, and they can manipulate the money to steal money. You can't do that with crypto. When a transaction goes to the right address in the right wallet, it's verified by multiple servers doing things simultaneously. That it's almost, it would take the most sophisticated superhuman computer ever created to defraud or decode the blockchain system. That's why it's so popular. That's why we don't necessarily see it crash, because it could be manipulated, like maybe just with, a lot of people having a lot of Bitcoin, just like the stock, buying and selling to manipulate the market. But in terms of trying to do some sort of fraud activity on the way that Bitcoin is transferred, peer to peer, that's it's impossible. It's damn near impossible. Nobody can even imagine doing that. It would take a quantum computer times two.
And that's kind of the point, right? The point behind it was the point behind the blockchain was to be able to keep anonymity, to be able to, in a sense, break down or at least give you another option against the traditional powers that be. I mean, again, when Gaddafi wanted to do something different than trading oil for the US dollar, because oil all around the world is traded for the US dollar, right? When Gaddafi wanted to do something different, he was killed, right? So, even right now, it worries me when I start hearing conversations about how do we control, cryptocurrency, because the whole point behind it was anonymity. The whole point was to not have the normal powers that be in our business.
That's why these conversations are difficult.
I find it interesting, in this new cryptocurrency world, where I'm an investor in company products and services that have been for years. When we talk about crypto, and we just got finished talking about Gaddafi being killed because he was going against something that one part of the world that wants to control wanted to take him out because he was going against the dollar bill, right? We know that even if the dollar, like you mentioned, the oil is traded by the dollar, and that's what makes the dollar have value. In fact, the dollar currency, the US currency, is the #1 trading currency in the world. We trade that against the euro. Imagine if they started taking euro for gas or oil or petrol opposed to the dollar. That would make this dollar bill crash. It won't have more value. My fear is this: I might never have a problem with the crypto issue coming on the market, especially knowing that I can trade crypto with the regular currency. My problem is the moving towards this global act to remove currency out of people's hands into a digital market where they can control how much money you have. Right now in China, they control their pockets by telling them, you bad, this is how much I'm gonna let you have, or I'm gonna pull back and let your account shut down. Imagine if I go to my account, my card don't work no more because I've been bad, because somebody said, hey, I did some shit and I can't use my card.
Hey, they said you did some shit on Facebook.
My other
That's
point
the
is,
world that we live in. That's the world that we live in right now.
Right. My other point is the tracking of the money. Another reason
Bitcoin,
why
you don't track it. It doesn't. I mean, it tracks on the blockchain, but there's so many different ways that you can go around it.
Another reason why they are removing the dollar off the market, the paper dollar, because you can't track it. You see, you can't track that money. You can only track it if you put it into a bank or you put it into a system that is digital. So my fear again is, as it moves towards it, and I'm still learning, my daughter's learning, we all into the trade and everything, and even into Forex, and my daughter's into day trading. My point is that looking at the future for my grandbaby and my great grandbabies, how does it look? How do I transfer this new world that there's going to be control over my money, of how much wealth that I be able to, and how I spend it, right?
Well, here's the thing.
That we're moving towards crypto into a currency that's in digital.
Here's the thing. You're fortunate enough to be privy on the subject matter. When it comes to waves of certain things in society, most of the time people find out after the fact, and they're just a victim of it.
Correct.
If you're studying it before it transitions, then you know how it maneuvers. You have equity in the whole process. Obviously, with the trading of it, you can invest into the different programs and companies that are trying to be the at the forefront of innovation, right? Yeah. So that's what utility is. When you look at cryptocurrency, there's something called utility, and that just means whatever the company is building to make the crypto world a better place, because it is going there. It's almost like we were on MySpace. And everybody loved MySpace. Nobody wanted to talk about Facebook or something else. But then it comes out. Then nobody wants to do Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. But guess what? We can't stop it. The teens, it just can't be stopped. You could say, "Oh, I'm not going to learn Instagram. I'm not going to learn TikTok." What is that going to do for you? Nothing, because the younger generation are still gonna, like my daughter. Is convincing me. My youngest daughter is 6. She is convincing me daily to follow her on TikTok. You see what I'm saying? She's 6 years old.
6?
6. But again, it's one of those things where I tell myself, let me just focus on Facebook. Let me master Facebook. I don't want to do anything else. I'm just going to learn this. But guess what? Society is still moving on. It doesn't matter. Facebook is changing its name to Meta. We can't stop him. I hear people on Facebook actually have conversations, complaining about the transition, as if they're not going to be in Facebook when it transitions. They're going to be in the Meta. You can complain about it, but they're still going to go in line towards it. There are certain things that we can control, and there's certain things that we can't control. If you can't control a movement, the best thing to do is understand what's occurring. You can't fight it. The subject matter of this debate will prevent moving forward in a specific subject matter. Like, I could debate Twitter and TikTok and Instagram all day as to why I don't want to learn it. It doesn't mean that it's not going to society's going to keep moving towards that. And if I wanted to be successful in marketing or sales, guess what? I may have to learn that. You know what I mean? Because next thing you know, people are going to be like, yo, so what's your Instagram? What's your TikTok or whatever? Are you doing this? And I'm like, I'm on Facebook. And they're like, this is happening now. We're like, yo, I'm not really on Facebook like that. So the point I'm trying to make is, that's why BitcoinCampus.org is around, just to kind of educate people on, how to manage cryptocurrency, how to understand it, how to be a part of it. There's no mercy for the mere. We know that in this world, nobody cares when you're broke. Nobody cares when you're struggling. The only people that can really help you are the people that get out of that mud situation and then come back and assist you. You know what I mean? So it's just really just the association of Bitcoin Campus that lets you identify why cryptocurrency is so important. We're already doing crypto. We're already Zelling people. We're already doing Apple Pay. We're already doing Cash App.
It's almost like we've taken baby steps towards this for the last, 15, 20 years now anyway. And this is only just another level. And the only reason why more people are paying attention is because we had a pandemic.
There are kids out there buying outfits for Call of Duty. They're taking their parents' credit cards and they're using real money
to buy fake stuff.
Clothes. You understand what I'm saying? And fake avatars. So the value of visual reality is becoming just as important. Like there are people that'll spend more money on digital clothes than your own clothes because you want to look like a certain way online. Like think about people that play video games. Think about how much money they spend on Call of Duty, like attire, camouflage gear, camouflage weaponry, maybe things that don't have any really like significant changes in the actual game, but visually it looks different or you can do something. They'll spend hundreds of dollars on that. But their own attire would be outdated and old.
And it's all propaganda. It's all how they market to you. I mean, my son, 10 years old, and I sat here. I didn't realize what was happening at first, but I sat here and watched him. You got to buy the power suit for, your person online because it gives you extra strength and whatnot. And I'm just like, so hold on, you're spending real money? Like, give me that $20 back. What? Spending real money to buy a power suit for your video game guy so he can thrive? I want you to have a power suit. Read this book.
Exactly. And that really sounds so dumb. Let me ask you this on the cryptocurrency.
There was the word. Hey, look, Omnietic said it. The skins. The skin. That was the word I was looking for. That's what they call it online. They're buying new skins for their avatar.
It's crazy. On the different coins in cryptocurrency, what is the best and how do you build a portfolio in different coins and different investments, or do you just focus on one coin?
Great question. It's when it comes to coin utility, there are thousands of coins out there. If you look at just the regular platforms like a Coinbase or crypto.com or things of that nature, they'll rate, the top 20, 50, 100 coins based on, popularity, the circulation, the total supply. So value and intrinsic value has a lot to do with what people potentially think. Give me a second. I thought somebody was knocking at my door. What people potentially think it will be valuable. So even in cryptocurrency, there's a lot of projects that have gotten funded and a lot of the public have invested in it and they've disappointed several times. So developing a portfolio really comes down to just doing research on what you can potentially feel will work. When you go to the utility or the quote unquote white papers of a project in cryptocurrency, it'll break down what futuristic plans they have for the cryptocurrency market and why they're different than the others. For example, let's just say people think of Bitcoin as just being the cryptocurrency industry, and it's not. It's just a cryptocurrency in the cryptocurrency industry. Here's what I mean by that. Nike is a better one. Coca-Cola is a soda in the soda industry. It's not the only soda out there. There's Sprite, there's Sunkist, there's ginger ale, there's seltzer water, there's Fanta. Now, I could tell you those are all sodas, but then we'd have to go into, pardon me for 1 second. Then we'd have to go into why are these different sodas different? Taste, color, nutrients, branding, marketing, you know, who's behind, you know, what celebrities behind this company. You know, I seen Michael Jordan drinking a Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? So I'm going to drink a Coca-Cola. So the same thing is happening in the world of crypto when it comes to those businesses.
Are there some currency you would stay away from?
Yeah, absolutely. There's things called shit coins. These are just projects that are just built by hype. We live in a viral world. So everybody tries to go viral. So they'll make things to try and be viral too. You know, think about the world we live in. People are telling all kinds of corny jokes on social media, thinking it's funny just because they're trying to get, you know, attention. So in the world of crypto, there's a lot of companies out there that may do something as well. They'll create a coin hoping that it has some sort of viral potential, and they'll throw it out there. People invest in it thinking that it's gonna blow up, but it has no substance to it. And when I mean substance, a coin either has a coin utility and a purpose that has a long-term plan in the crypto world. For example, let's just say something like Ethereum. We've all heard of Ethereum. Ethereum's utility has a lot to do with the fact that they have their own blockchain. They don't have to just always go through the normal blockchain. They've developed their own. So they were one of the first coins and projects to develop their own blockchain. So guess what? They have thousands of other developers and other companies working with them to go through their blockchain. You know why? Because the original blockchain, nobody knows how to go through that except for Bitcoin. It's only programmed for Bitcoin. So now Ethereum has its own blockchain. Blockchain is its own identification, you know, receipt center, you know, that sort of thing when you're doing your transactions. So, so basically, yes, Shanrika said like the Squid coin based on Squid Games, you know, something like that. You know, they're trying to get hype off of something. Oh, Squid Games was a popular movie. Some knucklehead, you know, thought to myself, let me fraud people, act like Squid Games has its own coin, just put it out there. Everybody's like, oh, great movie. Let me dump money. This is the next big thing, like Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. And the next thing you know, that steals all your money.
But when you say that, let me fraud people, I mean, it's all based on if I can get enough people to invest real money into this digital coin that I created, well, then it begins to have value, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you could only fake value for so long.
True. But I mean, again, the longer you can fake
based on the hype, the more the hype.
I mean, America did it for what, 401 going on 402 years now.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me ask you this: a person who sees Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin, like what you say, around, what is it, around? It's actually around $41,000 a coin. So that's kind of, you know, somebody on a small level, like, oh, I can't. So what do you say to somebody that want to invest in a coin that they can't afford the whole coin? What about investing in a fraction of the coin? Does that still exist? Well, I can invest in a fraction of the coin, like a fraction of the stock, and watch it grow. Yeah.
It's just like Apple. Apple is trading, you know, whatever, $500, $700 a share. You know, you don't have to go buy one share. You could buy a percentage of a share. Correct. And that'll still calculate when it goes up or down. I would recommend that people look into the other coins, because, like, imagine if Bitcoin was Coca-Cola and everybody knew about Coca-Cola, but they didn't know about any other soda. But then you knew about ginger ale, and you knew about grape soda and Sunkist and all of those projects. And those projects were, instead of 40,000, they were $1, $2, $10. $3,000 a share. Imagine Sprite being $2,000 a share, and everybody's only talking about Coca-Cola.
You're right.
But you know about Sprite. Look at how popular Sprite is right now. You could get a portion of Sprite and still generate revenue.
Right. Let me ask you this: how do you look at a coin and know its potential?
You do a lot of research. First, you read its white paper or the utility, find out why they're even working on this, why it has so much money, because a lot of these projects have millions and millions of dollars in backing from venture capitalists, you know, type of firms, so on and so forth. So you have to kind of understand, why would a venture capitalist company give this coin $200 million to, in terms of production, in terms of like, funding to build out its concept. When you start looking at that, then you can be like, oh, okay, I understand. I understand why Ethereum would be a great project. Oh, you think, Ethereum, next thing you know, Ethereum has like a lot of fees associated with its blockchain because it's new. It was the first one. So then next thing you know, a company comes out and they may say, oh, we have our own blockchain and Ethereum charges you $20 in fees. We charge you $2 in fees. So then like, oh, word, we're going to give this company $400 million to develop their system. So now you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of that stuff going on in crypto. I can't really go in depth with it. You'd have to just understand the gossip of crypto to fully understand why these coins are so strong in terms of their potential value in the future. Once you understand the world, it makes sense why these projects are growing and why people are investing millions of dollars in them. But as far as
what do people need to know? In other words, you don't have to go to a specific platform to trade or to buy into crypto. What do they need to go and do to buy crypto? I've been seeing crypto machines in my stores, just about all over now. They're popping up everywhere now. Person can just go right to that machine and boom, buy some, invest in coins.
Yeah, right? I mean that's different. When you're dealing with the cryptocurrency machines, that's if you have money sitting in projects. Because even if you invest in a project as a hodler, HODLERS, it just means holding on for dear life. Like people that just want to hold on for years. Just like if you got involved in Bitcoin when it was $1,000, and you're just holding on to it because it's going to one day be 150,000 a Bitcoin.
Okay.
But at the same time, that person may still want to go to they may be sitting on $100,000 worth of Bitcoin or whatever. That doesn't mean you can't go to the ATM and take out $50.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. So from that standpoint, there's an opportunity for people to just circulate Bitcoin. It's not about like when you're circulating Bitcoin, a lot of times you're staying away from the bank charges. You're staying away from trusting the bank to do something with your money. There's a lot of ways that you could earn interest on cryptocurrency in these platforms because it's so new. So the APYs are a lot higher because they want people to come and invest in their product or what they're doing. So
when you talk about that, then staking would be one of those ways to earn interest. I mean, again, that's another terminology. So for instance, this is my crypto, what do you call it? Crypto.com or something like that. Yeah. This is an account here. Once you go and you download any of these apps for trading crypto, which, I mean, whatever phone you have, you go to the Play Store and you just type in crypto apps and there is a plethora of them there. But once you get inside, you start seeing, good Lord, there are so many crypto coins out there, so
there's so many sodas out there. It's not just Coca-Cola.
So it's a matter of a person doing research to decide, hey, I'm going to get in on this and I'm going to get in on that. I got a buddy of mine who, we were both heavy into Forex, and now he's backed off of his Forex trading and he's solely focusing on crypto trading, so, he's buying, he's holding long term, all that stuff. He's a hodler, day trading, everything.
Here's what I want to say on just to the conversation that you gentlemen are having with me. The concept of right or left, this or that with crypto is so much more complex than what you're giving it credit for. Here's what I mean by that. If I wanted to send my family member in Colombia $10,000 it would take weeks, and the verification from the bank, they'll give me a hard time. They want to sit down with me. They want to know why. They want me to fill out all of this stuff. It would be tracked. It would take 10 days. If I had some money, and it's not a problem, I circulate all the time, it'll still probably take a week. With crypto, I can get that money to you in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So you so exactly.
That's a big difference, bro. It's a big difference.
Without anybody pulling on you to say, hey, what's this money about?
By doing this is what you do. Instead of the bank saying, excuse me, sir, sit down here. The manager is going to come out and talk to you, or give us 20 minutes to, fill out this paperwork so you can send your own money to Colombia. This is how you send money to Colombia. Done. and then the person gets it in 5 minutes. Nobody speaks to you. You could even have this phone. This doesn't even have to be your phone. They don't even have to know that Ken Lockhart sent that money. I could just go buy a phone at the store, download an app, transfer money from another wallet to that wallet. So there's like $20,000 in it, and then send, El Chapo 20 grand, for some deal that me and him had. And guess what? I just throw the phone away after that, and then we're good. So,
this right here is the problem that most country governments have, is being cut out. So think about it. They just recently took Cash App and other apps and started saying, hey, anything over $600, you're gonna get taxed on.
That's
why?
Because
yep. Well, yeah. And at the same time, because they're trying to find a way to put their hands on it some kind of way. They're trying to find a way to do it. And so since people are trading crypto with Cash App and stuff like that, so they're saying, okay, we're going to tax that over $600, and then, you still got the conversation of whether or not taxes is legal anyway in America. But that's a whole nother show, another one we did.
And here's another thing. Again, we're talking about trading and hodling. There's let's talk about circulation. Just put your money in crypto and circulate it without any government interference, without the worrying about inflation. Just circulating crypto alone puts you in a different stratosphere in terms of how you move money. Crypto is just a currency. However, because of the way it's growing in popularity, it's a lot stronger than the US dollar. But however, just you're converting your money into crypto and then you're circulating it. I could get my check for $2,000 and take that and put it all in Bitcoin. And then if I'm nervous about Bitcoin, losing any value, I could just transfer that money to a stable coin and it won't lose any money on the market. It'll just stay the same amount. And then whenever I want to use it, I transfer it back to Bitcoin. I could pay somebody. The world of crypto is growing so heavily that, you could get a lot of things paid in crypto without anybody knowing. Like, I don't even like saying a lot of stuff on air, but decentralized banking allows you to circulate money without any taxes being on it. In the United States or in general banking, centralized banking, the government is going to want 40%. But if they don't know about the money, how can they get the 40%?
Yeah, and that's what they're scared of, is not knowing about the money.
Yeah, absolutely. They just want a piece of the pie. I understand why they want to do it. It's just a game. A lot of the gossip, a lot of times in society, we get gossip to distract us from the actual actions or the what's really happening in right in front of your face. Talking about LeBron versus Jordan distracts you from appreciating LeBron's greatness right in front of your face. Like LeBron will go for 50 right in front of your face, and you'd be like, "Yo, Jordan would have did 55." Whoa! Why are you even thinking that, bro? Why are you programmed to think like that? Why can't you just appreciate this guy that just did something that you can't do or nobody in the world is doing? Why do you have to compare him to a ghost? It's just to really distract you from appreciating what's happening. So the conversations of crypto and it being taxed and it's not real and it's gonna, you know, this, that, and the third, it's a distraction to prevent you from really taking advantage of the world itself.
That remind me of a discussion that we have amongst our people when it comes to people who gain wealth. Somehow people with wealth have to sign over some sacrifice in order to get that wealth. And we overlook their talent. Like Oprah had to sign in with Illuminati, but we overlook Oprah's talent to do it. So we take away her talent and we say, well, she had to sign up to Illuminati. That's why she got that wealth. We do that shit to ourselves when you talk about that. Instead of celebrating,
like, what's the point? What's the point of thinking about that? Because think about it like this: if you give the average person $100,000 a year salary, or even let's say $500,000 a year, they're gonna feel so strong and incredible. They will think they're a part of the Illuminati. So if that's the case, why would you compare? Why would you talk about Oprah being a part of the Illuminati when you have a African-American millionaire that's 20 minutes away from you in a nice part of town? Is she a part of Illuminati? Because she lives a great life as a doctor, you know what I'm saying, making $700,000 a year. She didn't sell her soul to the devil, and she's living like that. So so what's the price? What does the devil want to negotiate at? What's the barrier? Is it 20 million? It's like, wait, hold on.
I think he's got $1 billion minimum. I think the devil has $1 billion minimum.
But if you got 500 million and you got to sell yourself to the devil for $1 billion, damn, is it worth it? Like, yo,
as soon as Jay-Z and Beyonce came out and said $1 billion, people was like, oh, yep, they've sold their soul to the devil. Because nobody reaches $1 billion without going through the devil first.
I'm like, damn, Jay-Z, like, you know, if it costs you to be a part of Illuminati just for Beyonce, like, damn, bro, just forget the $1 billion and take Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? And just keep praising the Lord.
I mean, because of course, you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z are not talented at all, you know.
Yeah. No, somebody, you know, that you're forced to like Jay-Z's rap. Like, it's subconsciously, like, you know, and the government put a chip in your brain to make you like,
it's a hard life. This song, God, I want to stop bobbing my head. I just can't. But you know what, man? You know, this conversation is absolutely dope. And hey, you know what? I'm gonna say, Crypto Kenny, man, I loved having you on the show.
Awesome, brother.
This was great conversation.
You guys contact me anytime to come on the show. This has been incredibly great conversation.
I want to have you on more often, if you would. We'll talk more off air about it, because you know, we've been talking about creating a kind of maybe a segment. You know, we mentioned it before as we had some other brothers on as well, but you know, a segment where we talk about this kind of stuff, like kind of bringing the news about crypto, forex, and stuff like that to the table for maybe a 10-minute segment, man. I think bitcoincampus.org, you know, they could benefit from that. We might need to do that, brother, for real.
Yeah, and you know, I love the what you guys are doing as well, and any way that I could support. Even, you know, I'm looking for, you know, some more checks that's coming in. I want to do the marketing with your show as well. You know, anything I could do to help. I just got to make sure that, you know, it doesn't interfere with my operations. But you guys have a great plan as well. You guys are creating a great movement. So anything I could do to, you know, participate, you know, add value, contribute value in any way that I can. I'm truly blessed that you even, you know, offered me the opportunity to be a part of your platform. And the tipping point, you know, just the whole concept of the tipping point. I feel like I'm moving towards that. I'm helping people understand what that is. I'm a big fan of Malcolm Gladwell as well, who's wrote a book on the tipping point and things of that nature. So,
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is something truly special, and positivity for the Black community and for the community as a whole is absolutely needed in any way that is available.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. We appreciate that. And definitely, man, it was a pleasure having you on to this discussion. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And doing any marketing or anything like that, brother, we don't mind the digital exchange for that as well. I had to throw that in there.
It'll be easier for crypto, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? I won't be paying no taxes on that. You know what I mean?
It's all good. It's all good. We got a tipping point cash app, so you can send it in Bitcoin, and we'll cash it out. It's all good. But yeah, man, this has been great because what we solely are trying to do. Yes, we love the people that look like us, and we want to uplift those of us that are doing wonderful, amazing things, especially against all odds. And highlight that so that more of us can see it and say, hey, I can also reach that. Hey, I can also go for that. Hey, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. But as the community at large, understand, if we as a people, as disparaged as we are propagated to be in the media, if we as a people can do so much better and so much greater, then that makes our community at large so much better and greater, because the reality is that before any degree of separation, we're all spirit beings, right? And then you got humans, right? So we got to get back to that some kind of way, because the reality is that we all need each other. As much as I might say that desegregation was the worst thing to happen to our people, I will also say that we all as a whole need each other. So with that being said, folks, John, last thing you want to say before we dip out?
Listen, real quick for everybody listening, it's really this show's always our show is about changing the mindset, changing that broke mindset, and being able to see other avenues of abundance, specifically seeing abundance in yourself first, opposed to, and never allow things outside judge based on who you are. In other words, for myself, I'm more valuable than all the gold in the world. You can't tell me that I'm not. You can't tell me that. I'm more valuable than any material in the world. So you got to up your value of who you think you are, because gold can't get up and walk like I can get up and walk, right? Gold can't think like I can think. I can take gold in another mineral and put it together and make a whole new thing out of it, right? So understand this is that we got to get out of this poor mindset that we broke. Quit saying you're broke if you can get up and walk and make some shit happen. If you got 5 fucking fingers, you can do shit with it and you can make some shit happen. It's really about changing mindset. On this show, we're really talking about how to change your mindset. So it was great having you on, brother, because this is what we are trying to do, get people to see that you ain't got to always be into this rut, into this poor, low me, oh, help me, please type of mentality, when we got guys like this out here with this thinking mind that can show us another way. That's it.
I'm your guy. I want to be a part of the cause and the vision. So yeah, hit me up. I'm here.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. And real quick before you go, Ken, let everybody know where they can reach you at.
Yeah, you can reach me at bitcoincampus.org, directly on the website, or you could go on Facebook to the Facebook group, bitcoincampus.org. If you want to reach out to me personally, my name is Ken Lockhart. I'm the flyest Black Ken Lockhart that is out there. You know, it ain't gonna be hard to find Ken Lockhart. You'll see me suited up with cufflinks, looking like a G. Yeah.
All right, brother. Hey, we appreciate having you on, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Looking forward to the next conversations that we have.
All right, fam. All right, man. That has been another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show, man. This was definitely a dope show. I love it. We're gonna chop this up, and y'all remember too, Spotify, you can check us out as well. on Spotify, The Tipping Point Show. We're going to upload some more episodes up there also. But man, you know, this was just great, and it was fun. And you know, the best thing I loved about it was that my brother was not emotional. So even as some hard questions or thoughts or comments came his way, we just talked, you know, and that's the way it should be. And that's what I love. And that's what I saw in him in looking to bring him to the show. So I'm glad that it all turned out just the same. Because sometimes, you know, we can, you know, get a little hardcore with some questions and stuff like that. And, you know, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be sitting there like, oh, maybe we shouldn't say it that way. But
no, I'm here to pull teeth. I'm here to pull teeth and nails. I'm here to get under. I ain't surface. We want to get under the root of it so that we can get to make it simple for everyone who are listening. Because some people be like, man, I wish he asked this question. You know, so I'm not here as a friend. I'm here as a person that's trying to pull resources out of the individual, and much respect to that individual that can handle those questions with grace, right? And I always appreciate that.
As my brother did. Remember, folks, thetippingpointshow.com. Definitely check that out. That's where you can always catch some past episodes, more information about upcoming episodes or what have you. Also, remember, godslivesmatter.com. Check them out because, again, every life has infinite value. godslivesmatter.com. You can hit the apparel link and get yourself a free bracelet or what have you. Incrediblecustom.com. Incrediblecustom.com. Text the word Inc. to 678-506-7543. And if you are looking for music for commercials or anything like that, maybe music because you are a talented singer or performer or what have you, you can definitely hit us up at thetippingpointshow@gmail.com, because some of the commercials that you hear, that is my family, King Yoshi, that is actually creating those commercials and stuff, right? So again, I'm gonna close this out with commercials and everything, and we will see you all next week, same place, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Tipping Point Show. All right. Until then, peace.
Peace, brother.
Habibi Trading Company, home of soap sticks and Saya Baba products. Over 400 locations at a store near you. Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky. Or get yours online at sayababa.com. Again, that's sayababa.com. Habibi Tumi Trading Company, owned by yours truly, John Ya Esoteric Concept.
Hey folks, check out healthdaddywoww.net. 100% plant-based herbs and supplements. Whether you're in person or online, use the word tipping for 10% off. Remember, feel better, look great, healthdaddywoww.net. Remember, healthdaddywoww.net.